is Ashley Hodge with the Sikkim 365 postgame call-in show. I'm joined by Caitlin Bickle, the heart and soul of Baylor women's basketball. Man, it's great to have you in the studio. I'm sure this is going to be one of our best call-in shows of the year. 254-339-1122 is the number to call, and you can also send me text to 817-721-8611. Once again, the number is 254-339-1122. This is a call-in show. It's always better when you get calls. Makes it more entertaining. And Caitlin's a great guest. She's got a tremendous amount of insight, not only into the women's program, but I'm sure she has some insight into the men's program as well. So, Caitlin, I know you told me, I know you were there for the first half because I saw you got up and hype up the audience. Were you there for the whole game, or did you had to go eat some dinner at halftime?
We checked out of there. We definitely watched the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I was we sat down and watched it at home. I'm one to, since I know basketball so well,
right,
it's hard watching it in that fan atmosphere sometimes. So I'm usually at home kind of yelling to, at the TV, trying not to go too crazy, but we definitely watched it whenever we got home.
Yeah. Well, it was a stressful game. I mean, so Baylor jumps out to a 30-4 lead. Looks like it's going to be easy street. A Big 12 championship's going to be pretty ho-hum, I guess you could say. And Iowa State comes roaring back. I mean, Adam Flagler's nursing a bad knee. You could tell he was struggling from that injury standpoint, but he made some really big shots down the stretch. James Akinjo was huge. Made those big plays when the team needed it, ended up with 20 points. Baylor gets away with a 75-68 win against a very gritty, competitive Cyclone team. They've won 20 games. I think they were coming into this game, I think they were like number 2 in quad 1 wins, which is incredible. They had like 9 quad 1 wins, so they're not an easy out. I mean, they finished 7-11 in the Big 12, and I think Baylor actually meets them again in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. You got a big game tomorrow. You've already clinched the Big 12 championship, but you'd like to have an outright claim to it. You play Texas Tech tomorrow at 2:00.
Yes.
So make sure, Baylor fans, you come out and support the Lady Bears. We need a big crowd to cheer them on to victory and celebrate another championship for you guys, and really the grittiest of championships, because you started out 0-2 in Big 12 play, and it didn't look very good at that point.
Man, did not look good, but we
got it done.
We made it work.
Yeah, and you're the heart and soul of the team. I mean, we love watching you and just the effort you play with, and just making those winning plays. So
thank you.
Just thank you for all you've done to bring us entertainment. And I know you mentioned on the Our Time episode. Now, do you watch those Our Time episodes?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm waiting until all of them come out, and then I'm gonna binge it like any other show. So
Right.
I have not watched any of them yet.
We had James Akinjo and Adam Flagler in here, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and they said the same thing. They're like, "I'm too busy during the season. We can't take time to do that."
Yeah, all your
little
focuses,
clips.
Yeah, gotta just keep the focus.
Yeah, no doubt. 254-339-1122 is the number. Do we have any calls yet, Armstrong? None yet. All right. If you're listening to this, call in. It's usually a late arriving crowd. The calls usually get going about 5 or 10 minutes into the show. That's typical. Let me see if I have any text on the game yet. I think what was amazing to me is, the veterans really made the big plays. Flo made some big plays down the stretch. Had some big rebounds, some putbacks, 3 for 4 from the foul line. Didn't shoot great from the foul line overall, only 58%. I know you guys have had some rough foul shooting nights too. I'm sure you can relate a little bit to that struggle from the foul line. But when they needed free throws, they got it done, and just made winning plays down the stretch of the game. So really good to see. Anything on the chat line or anything? Okay, what do we got? We got a call?
We do have a call from Jonathan, I believe.
Hey, Jonathan. Welcome to the post-game call-in show with Ashley Hodge and Caitlin Bickle.
Hey, Ashley and Caitlin. Great to talk to you. I just want to say it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right.
We've had several games this year where we started out hot and couldn't get the deal done. I was so proud to see those guys fight back and get it done.
No question about it.
Absolutely.
And it's also the first time I've ever had the chance to step foot on both the football field and the basketball field in the same season, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this has been an incredible run for Baylor Athletics. I mean, think about it. you all win back-to-back. Well, you've won a lot of Big 12 championships in a row, but the last 2 years you've won them. The men win 2 in a row, and then the football team wins the Big 12 championship and really has a good chance to win another one this next year too. Everybody in the lines is coming back, and we know you win games on the offensive and defensive line, and quarterbacks are coming back. So I think it's a golden age of Baylor athletics, no question about it.
Well, I think it's also you see a lot of the seniority almost. I think obviously we came out hot in the first half, and but you see some of those guys that have been here for so long, just sticking it out. It's same with football, same with our team. Like, even though we all are new, and even though football had various different pieces, it's just you can see the experience has really shown for Baylor, and people have been. I don't know. It's not like just a one and done here.
Right.
Like, we've said that several times. You see guys sticking out. You see guys transferring here because they want to be in that culture and that joy.
Right.
For Scott Drew and them, and I think that's great, and it's really, showing for them.
Yeah. Without getting too much in the weeds, talk about maybe some of the cultural differences you see with Nikki and Kim. What is it? The commitment to excellence is obviously there for both coaches, but do you see some differences in the culture that are positive and that you like?
Absolutely. I think for Coach Nikki coming in, I think her motto is kind of always greater than, first of all.
Right.
Just as a team aspect, just for us in general. And I think second of all, I love how much she wants to be a part of the university.
Yeah.
Because I'm so big on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's how, you want every team on campus to succeed.
Right.
You want that aspect. It's not just we're going to get our wins. We're going to do this. But
right.
She's going to show up for volleyball. She's going to show up for football. We didn't miss a single home game for football this past year.
Right.
As a team, as a unit. We didn't miss a single game.
Right.
We go to the men's games very often. If we're not at home for a men's game, we are watching it during our team dinners or our team lunches, or we have it playing on our bus.
Yeah.
Because that's her culture. She wants to be a part of it. It's not just about, hey, I'm here to coach women's basketball. I'm here to just get wins. That's not how she wants to do things. She wants to connect with everyone, and I think we didn't exactly have that before.
Yeah.
And now having it, you can tell it makes a big difference, because then every other team wants you to win.
Yeah,
Every other team is overjoyed for when you win, because all of a sudden it's hey, we're open. Come on. Come connect with us, and I love that.
Yeah, and I know that when Adam Flagler was interviewed the other night, first thing he asked was, did the women win? Against Iowa State. That was top of mind, first thing on his mind. So it's the love is mutual. All right, I got a question for you here from Jace. He goes by Bear Coog on Sikkim 365. He says, you are my favorite player across all Baylor sports. Where does your mental toughness, unselfishness, and drive come from? Does it come from your family? Her parents are in the studio here. Is it a past coach or role model? Is it a close friend? I'm just very curious, because you have what you have is special, something most people will never acquire in their lifetime. Every time I see you on the court or even on Twitter, you're lifting others up. Amazing to see, and thank you.
Oh, well, thank you very much for saying that. That's very sweet. I think overall, mental toughness-wise, I grew up with 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
So I grew up in sports my whole life. Whether it was riding horses, playing basketball, I played several sports until I gave that all up for basketball. I had really tough coaches throughout my whole life. But I think for me, the unselfishness and just wanting others to succeed is when you get sidelined with an injury like I did for over a year going into my senior year, which should have been one of my biggest years in high school. And then just going through different struggles, obstacles, even going through college was really big for me. Not saying it was a huge turning point, but I think it just made me appreciate everything I have, seeing others succeed, seeing, just the joy. I love seeing how much I can impact others. I love when, a bunch of alumni have come up to me. We just had an alumni weekend, and they would just walk up to me and be like, I love you, and I hope you know how much you impact this program and just us fans in general. And I'm that honestly makes me tear up a little, because I'm just thank you, because that's what it's all about, man. I love basketball. I love doing this, but truthfully, it's for all those kids that need that role model, all those parents that are reminiscing and want those kids to grow up and see someone that can be a role model that isn't just their parents. And I love doing that. I love being that person.
Well, yeah, you represent the university well, and your passion is contagious for sure. All right, so this is from Kyle. Kyle, she says, we have the best coach and staff in the USA. She's talking about the men's team. Gave up a 25-point lead at home, found a way to settle down. And Akinjo was so critical today. Flagler looked great, even though his knee was sore. Sohan and Brown got it done for sure. Zone defense threw us off, but do you think the pace of the first half caused us some issues through some of the second half? Maybe like the hectic pace in the first half, and I don't know, what any basketball related comments on the game flow from you?
I think first half obviously came out with crazy energy. It was their senior night.
Right.
I think their biggest thing in first half, though, was getting stops.
Right.
I mean, that's what led to transition. Iowa State couldn't guard them in transition.
Yeah.
We were getting every single thing that we possibly wanted because we were getting stops.
Right.
I mean, and Iowa State made it easy because they were settling for threes. They weren't taking it inside, which they did in the second half off their ball screen. They were able to find shooters and actually hit shots in the second half.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest difference. And then switching to zone, I mean, you don't get a lot of zone.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe OSU switches it up sometimes on a lot of teams and will go back and forth to cause that chaos. But I think overall first to second half was just, I mean, Iowa State wasn't really taking it in as much, and we were just able to get stops, and I don't think it made our legs crazy tired or anything. I mean, they had a long week to prepare, and I mean, they've played 3 games in 5 days before. So I don't think that's, I don't think that was anything that was like a crazy effect on them, but I think it was just the defensive end.
They were carving us up for a stretch in the first half with Jones, the way we were guarding, high hedging the screens.
High hedging, trying to stop the guard.
Yeah, and they were finding him on the dump pass. We do a good job of returning the favor with Flo and Akinjo when we get high hedge like that. But, I mean, what should we have been doing there? Like what adjustment should we have been making?
I mean, it's definitely – we're so long that we can rotate.
Right.
But truth be told, it just depends what you want to give up.
Right.
I mean, if their post is really killing you that much and you don't want to keep flow that high.
Right.
They did it a little bit, I think, in the second half more where they just kind of started switching.
Yeah.
Because they had Jeremy, Kendall, and Matt in instead of having Flo in, which obviously makes that easier because they're more guard-like. But it's just what you want to give up.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to push a guard to go over a screen, they're either going to have a straight line drive or you give them that pull up, and you kind of either got to live with that or you're just going to have to give up the post.
Yeah, and that guy's averaging like 4 points a game, so it wasn't like he was a major factor, coming into the game.
Yeah.
Anything on the calls? Anything on hold yet, Armstrong? We got some? Okay, let's go to some calls. We got a lot of texts to answer too.
We got T-Rex.
Hey, what's up, T-Rex?
Uh-oh.
Hey, guys,
Hey.
I just want to say what they said couldn't be done was just done. And I want to give one little caveat here. I don't know if people realize this, that not only did the men beat Iowa State to win the Big 12 championship, but the women beat Iowa State to win the Big 12 championship. So thank you, Ames, Iowa. Hooray for your good, clean water. You suck at basketball, but we'll take the wins all day long. Caitlin Bickle, I just want to say, if, the basketball thing doesn't work out for you after Baylor, you might have a great, sports analytic reporter vibe going on here. You're sounding great on the radio. You're saying way better than Ashley does. So
She's coming for my job. There's no question about that.
Hey, it's going to be Bickle 365.
We may have to work out some
but hey,
internships in next year for her super senior year.
Internships.
Well,
it's NIL, man.
of course, a paid internship. Yeah.
Oh, she's CEO now. Ashley, step aside. But for real though, great game tonight. I mean, obviously it could have been a lot better, a lot less stressful, but hey, we got it done. That's all that matters. Win by one mentality, and we won. But hey, we got another game tomorrow, so we'll be there. I don't know about everybody else listening, but if you're staying in Waco, if you live in Waco, get to the game tomorrow. Let's win an outright Big 12 championship. Why do we want to share the title for the women?
Right.
I want it to ourselves because we're all greedy. We're greedy little bears. We want the whole picnic basket. And one thing to remember tomorrow, if you're in a pickle, pass it to Bickle. Sick 'em Bears, prophecy fulfilled. I love you, Caitlin Bickle. You're an awesome player and awesome radio person.
You've been working that all day, I could tell. Good line, T-Rex. Any comments on that call?
I just love the energy. I see him at so many games, and shout out to him though, actually, just because I think a lot of people question our system this year, at least for women's basketball. You know, that's always hard. So many fans were just a fan of Kim Mulkey, and said, you know, and he was always there. He was he wasn't gonna let a hater.
He's Baylor first, no question.
So,
all right. So, anything else in the hopper, Armstrong? All right, let's go to the next call.
We got Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. Welcome to the postgame call-in show with Ashley Hodge and Caitlin Bickle. Two girls' names, but one of them's a guy.
Ryan. Hey, it's Ryan from Frisco. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, by the way, I agree with T-Rex. More Bickle, less Hodge. That's always that's the way we got to roll here.
There we go.
So she's great. Hey, I got two questions for Caitlin. One, does this championship mean more this year for what you had to go through compared to the ones in the past? That's my first question.
I definitely think it does. I think in the past years, it was always just expected. You know, we had that, I guess, legacy, as you'd like to call it. And I think this just meant more. You know, I think a lot of people doubted us. Obviously, we had lost to Maryland and Michigan, and people were like, oh, they can't beat a ranked team. You know, it was we were just questioned at every single point and every single turn that we came to. And then, obviously, we struggled with K-State and Oklahoma at the beginning. And I think it just meant so much more. You know, it was our first year. We were all so new to each other, and it just felt good. You know, it still feels great. Because we know what we've done behind the scenes. We know how hard we worked. We know how much we focused on everything. And we had to just sit back and keep working hard and pushing forward while we just watched all these people kind of question us the entire time. So absolutely, it definitely hits home more than the others.
Well, it's been a fun ride and more to come. Second question is, I know it's great to play at home with lots of fans, but how satisfying is it to play in a place like Iowa State where it's packed and y'all run them out of the gym and it's dead quiet? What does that feel like?
Shout out to Iowa State because they actually have a great crowd. We were definitely, I look forward to that all the time. I mean, every game that we can play in front of a crowd is great for women's basketball in general. They definitely get in your head a little bit. You know, they're definitely saying something every play. But I think overall we only had one day of prep for them. And when I tell you we were locked in, we were so locked in for that game, it didn't even feel like a struggle at all. You know, everyone stayed very poised. You could tell that we were ready. And even when we showed up to that game, I kind of looked at everyone after and I was like, was it as loud as you thought it would be? You know, because we had the sounds of fans playing in our practice gym the day before we left. Yeah. So loud. Yeah. Like, you could not hear a single person say anything. Like, because that was the whole point. You know, we didn't know how loud it was going to be. Right. And I went there and I was like, are we sure? Like, I was like, is it just me? Or are we just playing that good so they're not as loud right now? But it was great atmosphere. I'm glad that we could get the win by 20 some odd points. So.
You took them out of the game pretty quick, yeah. Hey, thank you for the call. Appreciate it, Ryan. Go ahead.
Hey, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
What two plays down on your end? I was on the other end. I was going to come say hi, but I was too busy biting my fingernails off on that game. But there was two plays. One, amazing block by Brown. What was that like? And two, there were some pretty open threes by Brockington that didn't go down tonight that could have changed that game. So kind of curious on your vantage point on those.
Yeah, Brockington got open a few times, and so did their point guard had open looks, Tyrese Hunter, and then their big guy, Kunch, number 5. Yeah. He had a few open looks that I thought, one particular that I was like, oh boy, we shouldn't have allowed that open of a look. The Brown was spectacular. I mean, the block. I mean, Brown did a great job of elevating at the rim, preventing the dunk, and then I think Sohan got the rebound, got fouled. If my memory serves me right, Brown. I was just looking at the stats. I mean, he had 16 points and 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. He came up big time, and it was a very quiet. game. I mean, he hit some big shots at the end of the shot clock, some, floaters in the lane, played within himself, hit a three, an open three again. Really great game. The only critique would be the 3 for 6 from the foul line. You want him to shoot a higher percentage of that, but overall, great game from Kendall. Jeremy ended up with 12 points, 6 rebounds. Flo, 8 rebounds and 7 points. Just another all around game where everybody contributed. But I really think James was probably the player of the game. Made the big shots when Baylor needed them. Made some great assists. Had a couple key steals, 6 assists, 3 turnovers. James played like a warrior tonight.
Yep. Well, Caitlin, best of luck tomorrow, and go get the outright championship. And Ashley, thanks for having the call, man.
Hey, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right, who's next? Armstrong.
Well, we got options. We can go with Bigfoot.
Let's do Bigfoot.
Wait,
Let's get Bigfoot out of the way.
I don't know if it's Bigfoot. It says Bert Burleson. We'll see.
Hey, Bert, how you doing?
Hey guys, this is Bert. What's up, guys? Baylor Bigfoot. Double B's on the phone. First time caller, but a long time listener. Listen, guys, what a game that was, and what an honor it is to have Caitlin Bickle, aka KDB, as I call her, in the show today. What a game! What a night!
Great to have you call in. What do you what kind of questions do you have for us, Bigfoot?
Well, guys, I want to know what you thought about Kendall Brown's performance tonight, and what you thought about Mitchell Paul's clapping on the bench tonight. Was it effective? Let me know.
Caitlin, you want to take those questions first?
Sure. Well, first of all, we just talked about it.
We talked about Kendall Brown.
All around for Kendall. Yeah. You can't really say enough about this kid. As a freshman coming in, I think, he's already so athletic. He's already such a talented kid. But I think for him, and I've noticed that these past few games, it's just his IQ. He knows when to make the pass, when to give it back. You've seen some give and goes between him and Jeremy in the past couple games. They're just different players.
Yeah.
And when he needs to give up the ball. And a lot of freshmen won't do that, and I think that's what's made him better and better as the year has gone on. Because he's not just some kid that can dunk. He has other, key moments in the game that it's okay, that's league bound.
He seems like he's all about the team. Whatever the team needs.
Exactly.
He's a male version of Caitlin Bickle.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little bit higher vertical.
5. Very much higher.
Yeah. No, he's good. All right, Mitchell Paul's clapping. Did you notice that?
I did not notice the clapping. I didn't. In my defense, though, you have Jonathan and all that. I feel like everyone's standing up on every single
Langston,
play.
LJ.
Every single
one. You got the walking wounded out down there, clapping and cheering people on. Yeah. 14 GAs, lots of coaches.
Man.
You got a big crew. Anything else, Bigfoot?
Bigfoot is gone.
Okay, good. All right, who's next?
We have Matt in DC.
Hey, Matt, what's going on? Welcome to the Postgame Callin Show with Ashley Hodge and Caitlin Bickle.
How we doing?
Fantastic.
Man, what a night. What a day. I can't believe it. I can't believe it because
this is T-Rex brother, by the way.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
It's what we do. We win championships now. I think the standard has been raised to this program now. Winning one is amazing, but now that we won 2, especially back-to-back, this is the new standard for Baylor basketball.
Yep.
It's amazing. This is it. This is every year now. This is the expectation. We've raised the bar for the next 10 to 20 years. This is what it is. And then let me give a special shout-out to the University of North Carolina for going in and ruining Coach K's night, as we did for Texas on Monday night.
Amen.
That was amazing. I had a UNC fan at my local Velocity Wings out here in Virginia who was running around losing his mind like it was me. I was like watching the mirror, he's literally laughing as the Duke students are crying, painted in blue. I'm like, this guy is amazing. It was greatness. It was I was like, bro, you did it. You ruined their night. There's nothing better. It's just, and hey, by Coach K, by Royal Williams. It's Scott Drew time now.
Yeah.
And I hope in 20 or 30 years or whatever, we get to have a retirement ceremony with 5 national titles hanging in the rafters. So
That'd be great.
hey,
Pass
let's
the
go
baton.
get it. What a night. My one question is, I have actually one question for Caitlin is, who makes better overalls, Tommy Hilfiger or Levi Strauss? And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Tommy Hilfiger, I guess.
We got some chiming in on the fashion here. All right, so this is Eddie in Grapevine. He says, your social media is fire. For Caitlin, how do you prepare this season with such a small roster? Oh, are you done, Matt, or did you have anything
he's
else?
gone.
Okay, sorry. All right,
Question was,
so
how do you
how did you prepare the season with such a small roster?
Oh, man. I think it's definitely, I don't know, it feels so long since we prepared. We started out with 10. We'll start out with 9, went to 10, back down to 9. I think it's definitely different from the past because in the past you're so big on just practicing against each other every single day. You know, I mean, our best competitors are ourselves, of course. We've had some great dream team guys. I mean, we have a lot of them that have really helped us out and really pushed us this year, which has been great. I think overall, and I've said this in a couple other interviews the other day, it's really big for us this year, just recovery wise. I think that is probably like the most important aspect of all of this. Now that we're so deep into the season, we take it really, really serious. We're in the we're in the training room every single day. We're all expected to take care of our bodies because we know we need every single one of us. You know, so I think not exactly preparing wise. I mean, we know most teams in the country play 7 to 8. If we're going to be honest. I mean, we look at many rosters; they could have 15, 16, I don't care how many you got. Usually most play 7 to 8 unless someone fouls out.
Especially in conference play.
Exactly. So I think it's not exactly different. It definitely is a little scary in a way, only having 9, because you're all of a sudden like, okay, if you do get down 1, knock on wood, you never know, but someone's got to step up. And I think that's been honestly good for us because everyone knows that they have such a huge role. You only have 9. I mean, whether you're sitting on the bench the whole game, getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 40 minutes, I mean, everything you do is going to be important because we're so small in numbers.
Right. And Jeremy's your strength coach, right? Who is your trainer? I don't think I know who the trainer is.
Shalisa. She came in, I think, August, September.
Okay.
Yeah. So came in
I know
kind of
Dave
midway.
Schneider does the men, but Shalisa is how you pronounce it. Okay.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
her.
That's great. Hey, great question. All right. So let's see if we got any more text questions.
We got some more calls.
Oh, let's go. Let's do more calls then.
Looks like we got Paul.
Hey, Paul. Welcome to the Postgame Callin Show with Ashley Hodge and Caitlin Pickle.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good.
I'm glad Matt called in with the fashion questions. I want to know, my biggest question is, who's picking out the sport coach for Mac Rhodes? I mean, really, come on. I mean, somebody's going to have to get with him on that, I think.
He had a nice one on for the game today, right? I saw him
He
before the game.
he likes checkered patterns.
It was a nice.
Yeah.
I saw him. I gave him a hug before the game. He's got it. He can't just be.
That was like 1970s Miami Beach. Come on.
Hey,
we can't have that.
He's got to stand out from others.
Yeah.
He can't be just any average Joe. You know, he's got to get
if
away from the pack.
Believe me, if he wears that, he will stand out. Everybody will notice him. I mean, like, please, come on.
That is a topic of
That was just
conversation on our message board quite a bit. Mac Rhodes fashion, yeah.
Yeah, I think that maybe Linda can get with him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it.
But what a great victory. What a great victory. And I'm just glad to see the men are trying to catch up with the women after all these years, winning multiple championships in a row. And we're so proud of what the women have done this year.
It's fun. I mean, just like Caitlin, you know, alluded to it earlier, but just, that abundance mindset, everybody can succeed. Everybody can win championships. I remember talking to a football coach last year, and he told me, he said after the men won the championship, he's like, dude, we walk around campus and we're the worst program on campus. And it pisses us off. And we're like, it lights a fire under us. He said the summer work that they did was in large part because of that fire from being, 2-7 or I think it was 2-7 in the COVID year. Then they turned it around, win a Big 12 championship. So I think that, having that excellence as a standard across the athletic department, just, like rising tide lifts all boats type of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that really, really addresses more to the fact about Max fashion too. I mean, he's going to have to really get this.
All right, we'll set somebody on that mission to consult with them on that.
But what a great evening it was, and it's fantastic to see the team win. And got a little scary toward the end, but it was still a fantastic evening. And we're looking forward to have another fantastic afternoon tomorrow with the ladies.
Absolutely.
Go Bears.
Looking at my heart rate during the game. It actually got up to like 122, which is pretty high. It's pretty funny. Well, first of all, Armstrong is a diehard Carolina fan. Now, he's a Baylor fan first. He's a Baylor graduate.
Yeah, for sure.
But he grew up a Carolina fan, so this is a very satisfying night for you to
Absolutely.
watch Baylor win a Big 12 championship, and then to watch.
Oh my gosh.
He was giddy when I walked into the studio because of all the tears flowing from the Cameron Crazies and the Duke faithful.
It's beautiful.
He thought it
beautiful to watch. I mean, Coach K. Just, I just love it. I mean, it's been the season of Coach K. ESPN was just like honoring Coach K all day, just kissing up to Coach K all day.
It's been a whole season.
Most expensive ticket in like college basketball history, and North Carolina just terrible North Carolina team.
Yeah.
Wiped the floor with them. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Can you imagine paying $15,000 for a ticket or whatever some of these people paid, and then watching? What did Carolina end up winning by 12 or something?
13.
13. Yeah.
I mean, that's
amazing.
You couldn't ask for a better way to send out Coach K. I mean, there is no better way on your home floor, most expensive ticket in college basketball.
Them in the NCAA tournament would be a better way.
I would love that. I know. I need Duke to lose in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah,
to a 15 seed or whatever. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be entertaining. All right, we got more calls?
We do. We have someone from Brownwood, Texas. Not telling me a name.
Welcome to the Postgame Callin Show with Ashley and Caitlin.
Hey, am I on?
You're on.
Hey, Ashley, this is Paul Underwood.
Hey, what's up, Paul? How you doing?
Okay, I've got another one here. If your fandom is fickle, you're not worthy of Bickle.
That's kind of catchy. Good job.
Okay, quick one for Caitlin, and then I've got something for you, Ashley.
All right.
Caitlin, talk about that the back thing you wear with the red strobe lights, during warm-ups. What does that do for you? And I guess you cannot wear it while you play, right?
I cannot wear it while I play, unfortunately. It's just something I have on my back so that I can heat it up, and it kind of has like stem inside of it so that when I'm sitting on the bench, I'm not getting cold or anything, and I'm kind of ready to go. So very fashionable.
Hey, Ashley, we'll be going up to Kansas City this year.
Cheering on the men and the women.
Kind of get some people that might be on the fence on whether they want to go. Let's give them a little pep talk. Tell them what they can expect. Your favorite barbecue joint, whatever you got. What do you got, Ashley?
I'm partial to Jack Stack. I've tried Q39. I've done the what's the other one? Eskimo Joe's. That's a Oklahoma City. Or, that's Stillwater. What's the Oklahoma Joe's? Oklahoma Joe's. Anyway, Jack Stack's my favorite. I think I like that the best. It's close to the hotel I stayed.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, we tried Q39. We went up to the football game in Lawrence this year. That Q39 was hard to beat.
Legit. Yeah, that's good. Those burn ends. There's a lot of really cool things around Kansas City. There's been some late night karaoke that's been kind of fun. We got some good stories behind that. We've done, we pretty much know all the restaurants in that downtown area. We've sold our tickets when Baylor didn't make the final and Iowa State, Kansas. We ended up paying for the whole trip and having a nice steak dinner at the Chop House. I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities to have fun, even if Baylor does not win it. But we're rooting for Baylor to win 2 Big 12 tournament titles while we're there as well. That'd be fun. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, you get 2 for 1.
Go ahead, Paul.
I'll let y'all go. We'll get to some more callers.
All right.
Thanks, Ashley.
Hey, thank you.
Caitlin. We love you.
Thank you.
All right, Scotty B, the Baylor King. He says, nothing feels better than a Big 12 title at home. Sure, it was closer and needed to be, but a win is a win. It was special for them to win today when I received the Fan Plaque of the Year. Congratulations, Scotty, for that. Don't worry, Caitlin, I'll be there tomorrow. My question for her is, what's your favorite cheat meal?
My favorite cheat meal?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a meal, but I consider it a big cheat anytime I have ice cream because I'm not a big, dessert person all the time, very, very rare. I have a ton of desserts at home, but they just sit there. I've had the same box of cookies for 5 months. I have cookie dough sitting in my fridge
and you're not
from
tempted
last
by that?
semester. I just have it sitting there,
got
just
more
in
willpower than
case.
I do, yeah.
And I'm one of those people that just has all this stuff there, and I'm like, just in case people come over.
Yeah.
I don't invite anyone over. I am the biggest homebody ever, and I think I had ice cream. It was literally last night. Last night I had ice cream, and I was like, I feel so like I'm cheating myself. I was just like, this is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And it was probably just 2 little teaspoons.
Yeah,
but I was like,
yeah.
this is huge. I never do this.
That's hilarious. All right, Slime Cap. She's the most diehard women's basketball fan. I mean, unbelievable women's basketball fan. She says, do you have a professional team that you would prefer to play for if you were going to play professional basketball? I mean, do you plan to play professional basketball? Do you want to?
I would love to play after college, whether it's obviously there's not a ton of teams. Women's basketball is so much different than men's basketball. It's not like we have a G League, things like that. But I would definitely, if I had the opportunity, I would love to play, whether it was overseas or in the league if I had the chance. Of course, I would say Phoenix. Mercury. I'd love to be back home. I mean, I feel like they're one of the teams that I've just always watched just because it's home for me. Sure. Would love to be back there if anything gave me the opportunity. So.
I think someone asked, I can't find the question right now, but they thought you would make a great coach. Is that in your future? Do you think you would want to coach basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely am very open to just staying in sports in general. I'm not like, I want to exactly do this. You know, I think for me, just being around people in general and just being around sports. I mean, I love football, I love basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball. I love so many sports. But I'd absolutely love to coach. I mean, Coach Tony on our team kind of joked with me last semester just because I'm always asking questions. They'll tell me one thing and I'm like, well, but isn't this, that? And he looked at me and he was like, you know what? Bickle's either going to be a lawyer or a coach one day. And I was like, well, those are a little opposite, but thank you. I was like, I'm going to take it as a compliment. I know it was a little backhanded and you were trying to just give it to me, but I was like, I can agree with that. I'll go both ways. So definitely would love to coach though.
That's cool. Anything else in the call loaded up?
Just Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak.
That's it though.
All right, let's hear Pat. Who is this? We got some character.
Wheel of Fortune! Guys, hello. It's Baylor Bigfoot once again. You hung up on me, and I had something special to announce, and I have a question for Caitlin. Right. I'll start my announcement. After Baylor winning another Big 12 championship, I talked with the people at Double R, and we decided the Bigfoot special is going to be available at every burger place. You want to go to Captain Miller's Banks? Be sure to ask for the Bigfoot special. You want to go to Jasper's? Go for the Bigfoot special. Twist the root, Bigfoot special.
What on earth?
Anyway, guys, I want to ask Katie B if she thinks the men are watching her because they take charges just like she does.
Yeah. She's good at that.
She's the best in the nation at taking charges.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Who's the best? All right, you're the best on the women's team, taking charge, no question about it. But who's the best on the men's team? Flo? Flo takes his share of charges.
Flo's around the basket a lot. I think Matthew's pretty solid at it, too.
Yeah, Matthew's.
I think when he
does a
gets
good
the
job.
chance, I think he's pretty good at giving his body up for that. But Flo did take one today.
Yeah.
I was really proud. I thought Adam should have had one. Second half, he fell down, got literally slammed on the ground. I was like, well, okay. I was like, it's a physical game. It happens. But, no, they're pretty good at that. James is solid, too.
James gets some.
On ball,
yeah.
but his is definitely more on ball.
Right. Like Davion last year was incredible.
Yes,
Yeah, he got
so
a lot of on-ball charges.
James definitely gives.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the biggest things this year. I feel like he gives a mixture of all three of those guards we lost last year.
Yeah.
Just in different aspects, which is
Right.
really cool to see.
Mark Vidal, he was another good one.
All right, guys, real quickly, I have a message for Iowa State.
Thanks, Baylor Bigfoot. You keep us entertained. All right.
I like it, listen. Double R for double B's. Double B's. Oh!
All right, thank you. All right, let's see. I got some more
Bigfoot.
text here. Let's see. We've got a question. This is from Kyle again. Kyle Stevens. She's like a legendary athlete. She's in like 7 Hall of Fames, golfing. I want to say swimming, basketball. Like she's the GOAT for sure. She says so cool to have Caitlin on. Truly a high basketball IQ player. Congratulations on the year. Finish it out tomorrow. We will be there. Looks like y'all are having a lot of fun playing this year. Do you feel that? Has it been a lot of fun?
It has.
Yeah.
I think it's been a lot of joy. I think we just appreciate everything we have. You know, I think nothing's been given to us this year. I think the competition level in our conference has risen, and I think that just makes you appreciate everything more. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even the little things, we do little competitions every day, or just spending time with each other, just different things that our coaches have done that lets us enjoy it a little bit more, even under pressure, even in the deep of the season, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's cool. All right, Slime Cap had another question. She says there's a video that she dug up of you in the 2016 Baylor camp, and she says, was that significant in your Baylor commitment, coming to that 2016 camp? Do you remember that?
I came to Baylor quite a few times.
Okay.
I won't lie. I think, I came to a lot. I went to, I think maybe 2 or 3 years. My parents would know, but as they sit over there just hanging out, just sleeping away. But I don't think that camp was exactly it. I think being around the atmosphere, though,
Yeah.
and being on campus, that was so big for me.
Yeah.
I obviously narrowed down my kind of schools very quickly. Like, I wasn't one to kind of hang around. I did not
What were your
want
other?
that.
What was in competition? Who were the other choices?
My top 4 was Baylor, Michigan, Cal, and Louisville.
Okay.
And I think Baylor just fit all the parts. You
Yeah.
know, I think when there was only one other school that, like, I was kind of like, you know, just shocked that I got an offer kind of thing, like
Yeah.
just starstruck, and that was Louisville.
Right.
When I was going into high school. And whenever, like, I had gotten the call that I had gotten offered by Baylor at home, I just looked at my parents and I was like, so, you know, I was like, I think this might be it, you know?
Right.
I had visited plenty of times. I knew the girls. I mean, Dee Dee at the time was just going into her freshman year when I was kind of going in to make my decision, things like that. And I think just being around them, you know, when I went on my visit, like, that was like the biggest thing for me, just kind of being around the team more in general since I had been there so much.
Yeah.
But I wanted to win, so that was the biggest thing.
That's awesome. Well, hey, great job from the men again tonight. Once again, 75-68 over Iowa State. They are co-champions of the Big 12, back-to-back champions. The women play tomorrow, 2 p.m. against Texas Tech. Come out and support the women. They are already Big 12 champions, but they have a chance to be the outright Big 12 champions. Thank you, Caitlin, for doing this. It was a lot of fun, and we got some great calls and some great text, and appreciate you taking the time, and thank you to your parents for dropping by the studio as well. Armstrong, congratulations on your great day, and Baylor victory, and also a North Carolina victory over Duke. So that was, I'm sure, brought you a lot of joy as well. You've been listening to a Sikkim 365 post-game show with Ashley Hodge and Caitlin Bickle. Sikkim Bears.